Let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. This morning during Front Page News, Morgan reported that the Trump administration is now halting new student visa interviews and expanding social media vetting for student and exchange visitor visa applicants, meaning they're going to start looking at your social media. But we're asking 800-585-1051, do you think it's fair for employees or schools to check your social media before hiring or admitting you to college or school?
I don't know why I thought that been going on. I thought social media vetting, social media background checks, I thought that was been happening for a while now.
I think they should do more social media vetting myself. 800-585-1051. If you want to get a firearm license, I think they should go through social media. They do fingerprints. They go through mental health, but they don't go through your social media.
I feel like some jobs been doing that, though. I could be wrong.
Well, probably like on the low, probably, but I ain't never hear about it being like an actual thing that they check your social media. I mean, always for like cops, FBI, like stuff like that, government jobs.
Yeah, they do that, but every job should, because you want to know who you're employing. You want to know if you're a teacher, if you're employing a teacher that has an OnlyFans, and there's a problem with that.
I remember back in the day when this was like 2015. This is before Hillary Clinton came on the Breakfast Club, and they did a social media background check on all of us.
Oh, really?
They vetted our social media.
Oh, wow.
You didn't pass at first, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
I said things about them. I don't care though. It's
crazy.
They wound up doing it anyway.
And anything I'm gonna say, anything I've said about you, I'm gonna say to you. So it don't matter.
Yeah. But 800.
Well, actually, it's because I dressed up as Hillary for Halloween one year.
You dressed up as who?
I had the mask on and the Nike tracksuit.
He is an idiot.
It was funny when that came up. They was like, Charlamagne actually dressed up like Hillary Clinton and this, that, and the other.
Damn.
But she came up. She wound up coming up anyway.
She was cool?
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah, she's been there twice.
Yeah.
But then, you have things like, some people's social media is literally their personal outlet. Some people, that's what I feel like, in a sense, that's what social media is for you to show what you want about your personal life. How much of that is going to be judged by an employer or really taken seriously by, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can, I don't know, it needs to be some type of stipulation, like, or to a certain extent or something like that. Because, for instance, yesterday, given what we was talking about with Loren, and when she went to DR, that was fun, that was business, but what she was doing suited
personal,
for that,
right.
you know what I mean? So now what if she goes into like a big, say if BBC want to hire her or whatever, and they go on there and they don't give her the job because they seen that she parties in DR and she wears, certain clothing that, like, now what? What is,
Yeah, but I still think, like, even I'm 2A all day, right? So if you want to purchase a firearm, don't you want to see on their social media if somebody's threatening somebody?
Absolutely.
If somebody's living something crazy where you say, well, this person shouldn't have a firearm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think they should, Charlamagne.
Yeah, I think they do. They should have online vetting, social media vetting. I feel like some jobs already do that. I definitely know in entertainment they were doing that, because you got to think a lot of these entertainment companies were hiring talent. And then remember the old tweet era?
Yeah.
When you had some, what I mean?
Bring back
the old tweet era, and people would have to let you go because of old tweets and all of that stuff like that. So a lot of them were doing that online vetting. But I don't have a problem with it. I think that is good because it's an extension of your character. Now, I will say I don't know how far back you should hold somebody accountable
for, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're hiring somebody at 30 and you saw them tweet something wild
at
15 years ago,
17 years
that,
old.
I don't think that's fair, but I think there should be some level of online vetting. Yeah.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Ro from Harrisburg, PA.
What's up, Ro? What's your opinion? What's your thoughts?
My thought is this is similar to the, first, I want to say good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But this reminded me of the topic you guys had yesterday on Loren and people judging her for what she posted on her social media.
Right.
And I believe that social media is for personal use. It is, unless you have a brand social media that you can separately make, which we all know. We have our personal page and our business page.
Right.
If it's not on your business page, then it is none of your job business.
But let me ask you a question, Ro.
frankly.
What happens if you're a racist and you post a lot of racist things on your social media? But now I'm hiring you, and if I'm hiring you, you're supposed to represent the company, and I don't want somebody that's racist representing my company.
Yeah, because people hire you on character,
True.
too. They do hire you on character.
True. I didn't look at it from that aspect because there are a lot of racists that are openly sharing stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that. I understand that aspect.
But see, it's situational. That's still situational. You know what I mean? Because even going back to Loren, it's evident, right? She has Brown Girl Grinding. That is her business, right? Where there's nothing but her brand, her representing her brand eloquently, professionally. You know what I mean? Then you have Loren LoRosa. That's who she is when she's not in the studio, or when she's not in the court, or not working. So again, it's just situational. But I agree with the racist thing.
Right.
I don't know.
CC.
Good morning.
Good morning, CC. What's your thoughts?
Which CC is this? You was at court yesterday?
Yes. I called yesterday. I called yesterday morning.
Oh yeah. Okay. So she called 2 days in a row, but you ain't you ain't Capricorn Clark, right?
Oh nah.
Okay, go ahead now. What else? What's going on, CC?
I feel like colleges, you spend over $50,000 to $60,000 once you're done going there. Mm-hmm. They should not worry about what you're doing on your social media. You're paying them. Then on top of that, the job, how well you do your job does not have anything to do with how many kids you got at home, or if you got your man or your husband on your page or anything. I don't know. Everybody should stay off social media.
I do think, but I do think they're checking for character. What I do think should happen, and Chuck D was up here talking about this a couple of weeks ago, there needs to be social media etiquette classes for kids, and they need to be taught social media etiquette early, because a lot of these things that they are putting online can affect them in the future at schools, at jobs. Like, I think that's what actually needs to happen.
But as parents, that's what we should be doing, right? We should be making sure we're protecting our kids and making sure we're explaining to them what social media does and the effects of it. Because right now, they might be kids having fun. Yeah. But in 10 years from now,
that's right,
whatever they put online stays online.
That's right.
It never
but
goes.
You know what? One thing about it is going to be hard to even have our kids listen to us, because we didn't listen to our parents when we were younger either. And that's a cycle that repeats itself. What it needs to be is somebody that they look up to, like a Kai Sanat or something like that, to teach a class like that. And Kai already displays that. Right. He has a level of etiquette that a lot of kids don't, and a lot of kids look up to him. So, furthermore than us being the guardians and the parents, it should be other kids doing that too.
But you know what's going to make them listen? When they hear people like Akai or whoever talk about opportunities they lost or opportunities they didn't get because of something they put on social media. Right.
800-585-1051. Do you think it's fair for employers or schools to check your social media before hiring you or admitting you to their college or university? Let's discuss. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're asking, do you think it's fair for employers or schools to check your social media before hiring or admitting you to their college or university? This conversation comes from Trump. The Trump administration is halting new student visa interviews and expanding social media vetting for student and exchange visitors. All right, so that's what we're asking. 800-585-1051. And we got Tisha on the line. Tisha, good morning. Tisha, you good?
Hey, Gra.
Yeah, I'm good.
What's your comments?
You eat chips this early in the morning?
No, I'm packing my daughter's lunch.
Oh.
Now, what's your thoughts, Tisha?
So my thoughts are, I don't think that they should be using your email or, searching your social media, because it interferes with like your personal life. And they want you to create this work-life balance. And it's just like, if you checking my social media for me to work somewhere for you, it's why?
We want to make sure you're not crazy. We want to make sure you're not racist. We want to make sure you're not doing something illegal. Because nowadays, everybody posts the illegal stuff they do online, too.
Yeah, it was wild when the woman called up here a little while ago and said, we paying mad money on this college campus and don't check my social media. What if you on social media talking about shooting up the school?
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Right, but you definitely got a point there. But what if also they, like, say, for instance, you got somebody who models and that's their way of, like, promoting what they do on social media, and they're, like, half naked. You going to fire me for this because I'm trying to, have a side job on top of this job that I come in and do a good job at?
Right.
Well,
every day.
That's interesting because, remember that woman, remember the police officer who was in the music video?
Oh, yeah, in the music video.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think she should be fired
I
for
don't think
that.
she got fired. I don't think she got fired. I think
Right.
she got transferred, but I don't think she got fired. But what about, let me ask you a question. What about a teacher, right? Let's say a teacher is doing OnlyFans. She's not naked, but provocative. You know what I mean? Do you want your students going to that having that teacher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Depending on how she looks. Yes.
Please.
Depending on how she looks.
Especially my son, yes.
He said, all right.
Yes.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Madison. Hi, Breakfast Club.
What's
Hey,
up,
Gwen.
Madison?
Peace.
Talk to us. What's your thought?
I think that they should continue to do it, and I also think that, I know they've been doing it. With my sorority I crossed in 2016, they did a social media audit on this. We had to put our Facebook and our Instagram on there, and they just look to also see how you truly are in the community and what you post to see if that aligns.
What, you a Zeta?
I'm not in Zeta. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Mama.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You too now. Hello, who's this?
Hi, what's going on? It's Shaheed.
Hey, what's going on? Talk to us.
All right, so check it out, right? When it comes to social media, right, a lot of people create a character on social media, and those characters sometimes can be judged as being the real person, right? So if a job was to vet you based on a social media account that's created as a character, they would basically be judging you based off the character you created on social media. So that's why I would disagree that a job to check your social media account if you're using social media for content purposes. Now, if you're just the type of person that get on social media and you betting all the time about different things you got going on in your life, and depending on the job that you're going for, I agree that job will look into you because they want to understand you a little bit more. And a lot of people, for some reason, they go to social media to show their true person and not the person that they actually are. They would try to hide at a job. So if it's like a government facility or something like that, or something of that nature, yes, I would agree that they would check into you. Like when I worked for Loomis, the money truck, they gave me a lie detector test. You would think, what job is going to give you a lie detector test, when you are working for them? So different jobs have different reasons why they would look deeper into you and look at you in a way in which they want your character to match their product.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also interesting to me that after all of these years, people still think that what they do online shouldn't impact them offline. Like, I'm hearing people call up here and say, oh, well, what I do online shouldn't matter. Yeah, it actually should. That's an extension of your character.
That's a fact, Charlamagne, because the thing is, a lot of people have to understand that you live in a world where what you put out is what people see, and what people see is what they feel they get.
That's right.
So, again, if you want people to get you, you put out great energy. You put out good content. That way, if people do look into your content, they still see you. You see, they can't judge you if you're the same person on social media that you are in real life.
Yeah, especially now. I ain't judging people based off what they tweeted 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm just talking about the last 4 or 5 years. We should know better.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, brother. Thank you.
You should definitely know that. All right, thank you.
Man,
What's the moral of the story?
If we judging by social media, and Jessica Robinmore will never have a job nowhere else, period. They're going to judge from my social media past, all of that.
But I think a lot of that stuff was a long time ago, though. Like, I no.
But some stuff,
That's true.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the last time you really, really wilded out on social media was when you didn't know if you wanted a job anymore.
That was
my God.
4 weeks ago, right? That was like 3 weeks ago. That was like 3 weeks ago.
You know what? That's why I never get another job, because they'd be like, when we do something wrong, this shit gonna go right on the line. So,
That's true, though.
yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
that's why you need to continue to be an entrepreneur.
Right. Oh, you too. Mr. Mental Health Reform nigga. You too.
But that comes with age. But you know what, though? To Jess's point, you got to give people that opportunity to grow. That's why I said I'm not judging people based off what they tweeted 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Like, if you're 30 and you applying for a job, you done went to college and all types of other stuff, I'm going to look at your tweets and be like, damn, when you was 15, you said X, Y, and Z. No, not
Or
doing
even
that.
when you was 20. Like, I was 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got the latest with Loren. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. You all right?
Cover your mouth even if you are choking.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
That's that girthy bottle.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.